Hi guys, and welcome to the third iteration of the Evolve takeover of the BMW Park Lane showroom. We've switched things up this year and we've done something different. So we normally have our own cars in here, but instead we have invited some guests, and the theme is cars that were inspired by original BMWs. So behind me we have our M3 CSL Touring, and behind the car we have the original M4 CSL that inspired it. So the showroom is full of cars that were inspired by original BMWs. So let's take a look at what else we have in here. So let's take a look at another M3 Touring. This is Pit & Paddock's E91 M3 GTS Touring, all the way from America. This car is obviously inspired by the E92 GTS, which was famous for having a 4.4 stroker engine, custom suspension, and a titanium exhaust. This car has taken that inspiration a little bit further because they wanted to do an OEM Plus. So instead of a 4.4 stroker, it has a 4.6 stroker bi-carbon. It has an Akrapovic titanium exhaust, StopTech trophy brakes, and even Chewy plenum, BMW M Performance seats to go with the BMW Plus theme, and a set of BMWs E88 wheels. The car is finished off in a very distinctive fire orange, which is the GTS was actually finished in. And BMW never made an E91 M3, never mind an E91 M3 GTS. But what they did make was a four-door version of the GTS, and that is the M3 CRT. That is one of 67, and it is essentially a four-door GTS, so it shares the same engine, same brakes, same drivetrain, same exhaust, but it has a super special interior. It has carbon buckets in the front and also has shaped buckets in the rear. I absolutely love this car. It's finished in frozen polar silver, and not many people know about it, not even BMW geeks, but this is a very special car. Another car a lot of people don't know about is the E36 M3 GT, which is behind me. Now this is one of 356, it is a homologation special, and it's based off the 3-litre engine, not the Evo engine, and it has different cams, different runners, so it makes a little bit more power than the normal 3-litre. And they were all finished in this spec. This car is not to be confused with the GTI, which looks the same, but it doesn't have the same homologation parts inside the engine. And also the UK special, which was the GTII, the Imola individuals. But what did this car inspire? It inspired this beautiful G87 M2 from GP Products. This car is running the full Alpha N kit, which as you can see, drew inspiration from the E36 M3 GT. The designer and owner of Alpha N is a BMW geek or nerd like us. So when he designed the kit for this, he wanted to take inspiration from the original GT and implant it into a completely new platform. And I absolutely love the details on this car. They've absolutely gone to town. We have covered this before in more detail in a different video, but the level of detail they've gone to in terms of how they've left some of the exposed carbon, even down to the badges and the interior inside, which is also matches the GT in the E36, it's absolutely incredible. The front end of this car is super aggressive, and that is matched by the rear. I love this wing, which draws heavy inspiration from the E36 M3 GT, but is designed to suit the M2 body. One of the very small details I was talking about, which is probably my favorite on this, is that they've actually made the GT badge, but they finished it off in the same bronze as the wheels and the Akrapovic tailpipes. That brings me to another M2 in the showroom, which is actually ours. This car is affectionately known as Starla, and we built this in 2016 for Essen Motor Show. Again, Alex from Alpha N was heavily involved in this because most of these body parts are from his catalog. And when we designed this car, I wanted it to be like an M2 GTS, which BMW never made. And it's the first time I've actually seen it next to an M4 GTS. And it's given me an idea of how close we came to something if BMW had made it. This car also served as inspiration for Kenneth, who owns the G87 M2. He said this car and IND's F87 build were the inspiration for his GT2 to take inspiration from an older BMW and transplant it onto a new car. When the M4 GTS was launched, it looked like an aftermarket car. This doesn't look like something an OEM would produce, and that's why I wanted to take inspiration for it and build an M2 in the same vein. It has a huge front lip, orange wheels, orange roll cage, buckets, and something we'd never seen from an OEM perspective, especially from BMW, which is the water injection. Now, we've been using that as an aftermarket tuner, but we've never seen BMW use it before. So this car as a whole just looked like something that a tuner would have made and not a manufacturer, but that is super cool. Speaking of tuner cars, this is a car that BMW should have built, but aftermarket did build. This is a 1M clone, but instead of running the N54 engine, it has a proper M engine, and in this case, an S65 from the E92 mated to a DCT gearbox. This is our newest addition. We bought it about 2 weeks ago. It was built about 9 years ago by Ash from Quarry Motors, and we bought it from the person who commissioned it, called Nina. And we're going to take it that little bit a step further and add our own things into it. So watch closely and follow the project. I'll do my first drive impressions of it in a few weeks when we get a chance, but I absolutely love this car. This is an amalgamation of two of my favorite M cars in one. So I absolutely adore the 1M and I love the E92 M3. So for me, this is clashing both of those together and it's a dream come true. So that's a quick rundown of the cars that we had inside the Evolve takeover of the BMW Park Lane showroom. We will have full videos of the M2 GT and the E91 M3 GTS on our channel very shortly. I want to say thank you to everyone that was involved in making this happen, especially the owners who lent their cars, Pit and Paddock who bought their car all the way from the USA, and GP Products who bought the M2 from the Netherlands. All that's left to say is thank you to BMW Park Lane for letting us take over their impressive space again and helping us celebrate BMW culture. Can you hear me at the back? No! I just wanted to do a little speech, mainly because we are all here because of somebody called Chris Learmont, who sadly passed away a few months ago. He was the pioneer of this event. When he first pitched it to me, I was like, what do you mean you want to take all of your cars out and put our cars in here? I wouldn't have even suggested it because it was beyond what I could have imagined. And now this is the third one that we've done. So it is all because of Chris, and hopefully we can carry on doing them. Everyone in this room knows me, unless you're a family member, purely because of cars. And who would have thought that cars could bring so many different people together? There's so many people I need to thank. The guys from Pit and Paddock for sending their car all the way from the USA. The guys at GP Products for bringing their fabulous M2. And anyone who's lent us the cars that we didn't have access to. A lot of these cars are people's pride and joy, and it takes a lot to trust them to be in a public environment. So thank you to everyone who turned up, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you liked the video, please remember to smash that like button, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. If you want to join the conversation, please drop a comment below and we'll try our best to respond to you. If you want to watch more of this project, you can do so over here. If you want to watch what YouTube thinks you might like from our other content, you can do so over here.